Good morning. Welcome to my stretch, release and relax masterclass today. It's designed to be 45 minutes, but we might go over a little bit, so I hope you've allowed for that, guys. So what we will be using today are the prickly balls. Don't worry if you don't have any prickly balls. Tennis balls will be okay, and dog balls as well. Maybe laundry balls are a little bit hard on the cells and the fascia. Sometimes you get sort of more contraction, tightening rather than releasing. Okay? And we've got a foam roller. So this is one of the larger foam rollers. There's pros and cons whether you have this larger one or the one that's half the size. Yeah. So we will be starting with the foam roller in a moment. So if we have the soft balls out the way, and I would suggest a mat. I think it doesn't really matter. It's nice to be sliding around if you've got a slippery floor when we use the prickly balls. All right, so why all this concern about fascia and trigger points in the fascia? Yeah, so this has been quite mainstream for the last 10 years. And there's been a lot of people that dissect bodies have realized that the fascia is actually a really important live organ that connects the whole body from head, fingers down to the toes. Really important. It's got lots of nerve cells there, and it keeps the whole body together, the bones, the muscles, the organs. And without the fascia, we would just be just a heap on the floor, really. All right, so what happens? Particularly this year or last year, depending when you're watching this, 2020, it's been quite a stressful year. And I think all of us have experienced a certain amount of stress from what's been going on around us. You might not realize it, but the body does react really quite strongly to the environment. Yeah. So stress, anxiety, when you're worried about something, if you're arguing with people, this all creates tension in the fascia. So why does that matter? Because it doesn't really go away very easily, and it creates pain, it creates tension and stiffness, and it might not be in the area where you need to release it. You might have tightness or feel the pain in the shoulder, but you might need to release down towards the pelvis. Yeah. So today we're going to do a full body myofascial release, releasing the trigger points. So I want you to be very aware of how it feels. It's different for everybody. We don't always have the tension in the same place from person to person. So you need to be very mindful, and also things that are going to help you to release today through those trigger points, those points of tension, is to stay hydrated. Yeah. So drinking water throughout the session, and really without hydration in the fascia, it's going to stay stiff and painful most of the time. Okay. What else have we got to say? Breathing's really important. So we want to really try to let go. Use your breath, your exhale, to sink into those points where we're looking for the tension in the fascia. Okay, so we are going to start off lying down on the roller. So before you lie down, we want to make sure that we get the whole of the torso on the roller. If you haven't spent any time on the roller and you have a back issue, you might find that immediately your back reacts in a painful way, and then you would need to just come off the roller and just lie on the floor, preferably a mat. Okay, because I know when my back was put out through breaking my leg, I'd been doing roller work for ages, loved it, but after that put my back out, and the pain through my back when I lay on a roller, so just be mindful of that. So let's come and sit right down the end here, right on the end, so you can't see the roller in between the legs, and use your hands to gently roll yourself back, and hopefully your head is going to land on the roller. So you might need to wiggle down a little bit there, guys. Yeah. So we'll start off with the feet just as wide as you feel comfortable, and taking a few moments and just getting used to this new experience, or an experience that perhaps you haven't experienced for a while. While we're just lying here and communicating with the roller, or vice versa, turn the palms of your hands to the ceiling, open up across the shoulder, the front of the shoulders and the chest there, and just focus on your breath. And every time you exhale, just sinking down into the roller, and just see how that feels. Initially it might feel uncomfortable, and it should become more comfortable over the minutes that you lie on it. But if it doesn't and it becomes less comfortable, then as I said, you need to gently roll off and lie on the floor. Be aware of your head position. Perhaps you need to lengthen the back of the head slightly and draw the chin in, so you have that nice neutral head position. Now we're going to bring those feet a little bit closer, hip bone distance apart, so you might find that that's a bit of a balance challenge. So you might want to take your arms wider on the floor for stability for the moment. We want to think about a neutral spine, so let's have a slight connection through the core. Ribs are gently knitted together. I'm going to slide that right leg away along the floor. If it doesn't slide, just hover it off the floor and slide it back and change legs. So we call this alternating leg slides. A little bit of a balance challenge, but just starting to wake up the core muscles. So let's just bring those legs back to the start position and do similar with the arms. Have the arms extended so the elbows off the floor, palms facing in towards the body. And we're going to reach that right arm up, not too stretched, not too tight like we do in a Pilates class, just reaching back gently and bringing it back down to your start position, and then alternating. So you might want to just go back to the feet on their own and then back to the arms. Otherwise, let's see how we do opposite arm to leg. So I would recommend opposite arm to leg. Should we do right leg and left arm? So maybe a little bit more pressure through that left leg and the right arm. We're inhaling. Exhale as you reach away from your start position, and inhale as you come back. So a slight space under your lower back. Feel the back of the pelvis in contact with the roller and the back of the ribs, particularly the bottom rib. Yeah, let's finish up on the last set here, guys. Yeah, and we're going to come back to the center. Bring your feet a little closer towards the roller, and if you want more balance, take your arms wider on the floor. We're going to imprint the spine, so let's flatten your lower back in towards the roller, and just see if you can do a little bit of a pelvic tilt, a backward pelvic tilt, and just roll through the lumbar vertebrae. You're not going to get such an articulation when the feet are lower than the hips, but just feel that contact with the roller, and then come back and relax for the last few seconds before we roll off the roller gently. Yeah. So in a moment you're going to be just rolling off the roller, and we're going to stay still on the mat with the legs bent and just see how your spine feels after these few minutes on the roller. So let's gently use your hands for gently. I don't want you to suddenly flop onto the floor because your body is relaxed. So just gently roll off and move the roller out the way, and just stay there for a moment. And just see how the spine feels all the way from the head, upper back, middle back, lower back, and into the pelvis there. You might feel like you've got like a cavity under your spine, but hopefully you feel some sort of release already just by lying and not doing very much on the roller. Awesome. So we're going to come out of that. Really sorry. You're going to roll over onto your side, and we're going to come up into standing position. We're now going to move on and use the prickly balls. We're only going to use one. Okay. So I'm going to move the mat out of the way, because you will get more benefit, or it's easier to manipulate the balls if you're on a hard floor. Now we will do something that might challenge your balance. You might want to have the roller close by, and you could use that for balance. Even if you're not going to use it, maybe have it there. Okay, so before we actually go into the footwork, Yeah, we're going to do a roll down and just see how the spine feels today. Probably feels much better after lying on the roller. So, but let's have the feet hip bone distance apart. Nothing too serious, a little bit of core connection to support your spine as you go down. Relax the arms and the knees are soft. As you roll down, try not to bend those knees anymore. And just see as you go down, feel for any stiffness, any discomfort, and if it gets too uncomfortable then don't go any further, but see how far you are from the floor. Can you touch the floor? Can you get your hands flat on the floor? So I can't really do that. My heel of the hands, that's really pushing it to get the heel of the hands on the floor. Yeah, so I've got a slight bend in the knee. Personally, I'm feeling at the back of those hamstrings. Lower back feels okay, and then you're gently going to scoop in the belly and roll yourself up. But let's do that one more time. So just keep that slight softness in the knee as you roll down, and just be mindful that you're not evading any tension by bending those knees more than where they were. So just be mindful. Again, maybe the second time round not quite as stiff, but do challenge your mobility there. Just so now I can get the heel of the hands on the floor, but definitely very tight at the back of the knee and the hamstrings. And then roll yourself all the way up back to stay. Okay, so we're going to do one more stretch here. We're going to do a calf stretch. So have your feet hip distance apart. Step straight back with your right foot and make sure that your right foot is facing forward. It tends to turn out a little bit. Yeah, so you've got the heel down at the moment. I just want you to feel a bit of a stretch down the back of the calf, because we're actually going to do the feet and the calf almost together, yeah? And then what you're going to do here is you're going to lift up onto the toe, pressing into the toes and gently lowering the heel, yeah? So just do it a couple more times. So we're on the right leg there, guys, yeah? On the right leg at the back. Whichever leg you are at the back, that's the one you're going to do first, all right? So let's take that prickly ball, place it under the right foot. So I mirror image to you, which might confuse you a little bit when I turn sideways. I apologize. So we're going to have the heel of the foot, yeah, on the floor. And you're just going to have the toes just wrapping over the ball, and we're going to claw the ball. So you're going to gently press into the ball with the ball of the foot. Lots of balls here, aren't there? And you're going to kind of claw it and almost thinking about grabbing it and lifting it, but do start to put a little bit of pressure through the ball of the foot. How does that feel? Spiky? All right, and then we're going to move the ball just below the big toe, and make sure you're stable. If you want to use that roller for stability, we're just going to rub forward and back on the inside of that foot just below the big toe. If you have a bunion, it's not very comfy. But this isn't all about comfort. This is definitely about finding the pain in your fascia, in your body, and then start to bring that rubbing to the center of the foot. It kind of makes, I get kind of itchy when I do this. What are you feeling? And then just take it to just below the toes, yeah, on the outside of the foot. And we're going to do that a few more times, just going across the foot, center, to the inside, and then back out, yeah, to there. And then we're just going to bring the instep, so gently start to put some pressure into the instep. Put the pressure on the inside of the instep. Just start to lean into it slightly. And then the middle. How's that feeling? And then the outside. And then we'll do that same sort of rolling. So to release trigger points there, that's the tension in the fascia. We want compression and dynamic movement. So it's a combination of the two. And the dynamic movement often finds your trigger points. By doing the dynamic movement, you think, oh, that's painful. And if you get there, when you get there, because we all have them, we just need to find them, yeah? Then you need to stop. So just like here, we can stop in the middle and then just start to press down. Okay, so this is where you might need the balance. I'm going to turn sideways, so remember this is your right leg. And I'm going to have that back foot back, and I'm just going to start to put pressure, rocking into that front foot there. So just start to overload it. And then you can stay forward, try this. This is making it more challenging. So I'm forward and probably too close to the camera. And then this is where I need the balance. I've lifted the back heel and I'm doing squats, or my weight's forward. So that, if you're new to myofascial release, that might be too intense for you today. So then before we step off that foot, we're going to roll all the way just to get a bit of pleasure back in between the pain. All right, so just step off. We're not going to do the stretch again yet. What we're going to do is go and release the calf on the same side. So it's going to be your right calf, yeah? So this is going to be confusing for me. So we're going to use the ball because I'm sideways. And you'll think it's my left leg, but it's not really. I'm going to stay on the floor here because it's easier to move around. And you're going to pop it under the bottom of the calf muscle, call it the gastroc, yeah? So it's, if I turn around, you'll be able to see better, won't you? So just not on the Achilles there, guys, yeah? So just gently lean back. So the more pressure you put through, or just experiment. Start off, we're just going to do a little bit of rolling here in that lower part of the calf muscle. So see how I've got a lot of my weight on my arms, yeah, and on the supporting leg. So if you're on a slippery floor, you could keep your bottom on the floor. But if you want more pressure, yeah, then you take your bottom off the floor. So let's just work up a little bit up towards, so we've worked from the lower calf muscle, just a little bit of rolling here. Don't forget to breathe, yeah, just really try to relax that leg as you do this, and then go up. We don't want to go at the back of the knee, but just, and we're in the belly of the muscle here. So just that little bit there rolling, yeah. How does that feel? And then we'll just do a little bit up and down. So just be very mindful how that is, yeah? Then we're going to come to the lower part of the calf, and you're going to internally rotate the leg and just do that little bit of rolling at the lower leg. I can see actually this is going to, we'll probably finish late here. Hope you're not rushing off before 10. And then just that small movement, just a little bit of like rocking, yeah, just coming up on the inside of the calf, not on the bone, and coming up towards just below the knee there. Oh, that's quite tender. How does that feel? Yeah, and then you're going to come all the way down to the bottom and externally rotate. So it's quite a lot. It's upper body work. Did I warn you about that? So again, not on the shin bone, but just that rocking, and start to move gently up that outer thigh there. Yeah, feels quite nice actually, huh? All right, and then we're going to come back down into the belly of the muscle, right down the middle there, yeah? And you're just going to hold it at the lower part of the calf. We're just going to hold it there and see if you can put more weight, lift your bottom off the floor, if the arms are okay. Careful of the shoulders, careful of the wrists. And then we're just going to go a little bit higher, and then we're just going to hold that, compress through. And be mindful how it feels, yeah? And then up in the belly of the muscle, yeah? Just biggest part of that calf muscle, and see if you can really relax that leg, put a little bit more pressure down into the leg. Yeah. And we're gently going to come up and we're going to stretch out on that one. So we're going to do the roll down. So let's bring ourselves up into standing. Just do a little bit of pedaling, a little bit of walking around, yeah? And we're going to do the roll down that we did before. That slight bend in the knee. Inhale, exhale. So relax the arms and just see how it compares with your right leg and your left leg there. Do you feel a little looser on that right side of the body and tighter on the left? Are you able to, my heel of my hands are easy on the floor now. Yeah, how does that work for you? How about that hamstring? Although we haven't released the hamstrings yet, let's roll ourselves all the way up here. And let's take that right foot back, ready for that calf stretch. Make sure the back foot's facing forward and just stretch through. Yeah. and then we're going to lift onto the back toe and just pressing down through the heel. So really just stretching out after that myofascial release. Yeah, okay, good. So let's stretch out through the other one. Yeah, we'll just do the calf stretch on the other foot. That's your left foot here. We're moving over to the left leg now, guys. All right, so your back foot, just make sure it's facing directly forward, so you're stretching down the belly of the muscle and then lifting up onto the balls of the feet. Nice stretch for the toes, and then gently pressing down through that calf and then hold it down. Okay, so let's do the foot on that left leg there. So we're going to claw the ball first. So you've got the heels on the floor and just pressing into it. Don't know why I have to be so close to the camera there. And just spreading those toes, yeah? So how does that feel? That initial contact with the prickliness. They look quite friendly, don't they? Until you hit that trigger point and they're not friendly anymore. Okay, and then come onto below the toes, onto the ball of the foot on the inside, and we're just going to rub up and down, putting some pressure through, and gently take it across the ball of the foot to the center and over to the outside of the foot. Do that a couple of times, just moving across the foot there. Oh, starting to feel things there. How about you? Yeah, are you breathing? Remember, pain is good. All right, and then just stay where you are there. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to move on to the instep. So let's just, on the inside of the instep, just put a little bit of pressure there. So you can have the heel on the floor or maybe off the floor slightly. And then move to the center of the instep. Just gently overload, just compress, release. Press, release, and then to the outside of the foot. Then we'll do some rubbing. Yeah, because I want to put the whole body together, so I'm going a little bit faster than I might do. I did do a bit of an introduction which took about 5 minutes or so. Okay, and then we're going to do that rocking into the center of the foot. Just rocking, and then you might want to have your roller here for your balance. Let's see if I can balance. So this is more advanced. You're taking all the way onto that front foot. I'm on the instep. I'm just squatting down. I'm going to keep my heel on the floor here so that I've got that stability, but I think if you can have the heel off the floor and use that roller for balance, yeah? And then gently coming off, just walk, just see how you feel, walk around a little bit. Then we're going to go on to, I'm going to pop the heater on. Don't know what's happened to the main heater. Chilly, it's not supposed to be chilly today. Then we're going to go on to that left calf, yeah? So we're going to take the ball down the center, just at the lower part of the gastrocnemius there, not on the Achilles tendon. I'm going to do a little bit of rocking. And then we're going to start moving up that leg there. And then up, so staying in the middle of the calf muscle, just below the knee. Yeah, how does that feel? So this is your left leg. I think your right one will be tighter. Yeah, the first one's tighter. And then we're going to take it down internally. Yeah, so down towards the foot there. Internally rotate from the hip, and you're just going to do that little bit of rubbing. That's quite tender, isn't it? Do you find that on the inside of that calf muscle? Just starting to move up a little bit into the center and up towards the knee, and then back down and externally rotate. So when you, hopefully you'll watch this again and do this, yeah? Let's go back down and just hold it in the lower part of the middle, the belly of the muscle there. You might want to put it on slow. Can you slow down your video? And so you can spend longer doing it. And then just move up a little bit. So here we want to relax the calf, relax the leg. and then just finally up towards the, just below the knee there. Awesome. Come off to your side, let's stand up, just do a little bit of pedaling team, yeah. And then we're going to do that roll down, yeah, so keep that slight bend in the knees and keep the knees still. Inhale, exhale, slow, nice and slow, yeah, slowly, slowly, slowly. Just see, my hamstrings don't feel tight anymore. How do your hamstrings feel? Lower back, can you get lower towards the floor? And then take an inhale and roll yourself. As we come up, let's bring the arms up towards the ceiling, get a nice stretch through the thoracic, and bring the arms down by the side. Let's roll down again. Inhale, exhale, gently keeping those knees slightly bent without moving after that, yeah? And gently coming all the way up, bring the arms up again, nice stretch through the full fascial lines of the body, and bring the arms down by the side. Let's do that stretch on the left leg. So calf just pressing back there. Just how does that feel? Yeah, do you feel less tension in that stretch? I know it's difficult to gauge whether you have the foot in the same position. Make sure that it's facing forward, and then just a little bit of a lift and lower. Yeah. Okay, so walking out of that and just doing a little bit of pedaling. Grab yourself a drink, guys, and we're going to use the foam roller to release out the quadriceps. You can use the prickly balls. I just find that it's easier to be raised off the floor. It's more comfortable, and you'll see what I mean. And we're going to do one at a time. If you were short of time, you could do both at a time. Let me think. No, we're going to do singularly. Yeah, so I'm just going to use the end of the roller, and I'm going to start off with the right leg, and I'm on the same as you, so because I'm sideways, so I'm going to take my left leg out to the side. I wonder if I go face this way whether you can see better. Yeah, so I'm coming down and I'm just placing the roller under the quadricep, and my left knee's out to the side, and I'm on my elbows. Yeah, so you want to make sure that that left knee is happy. Yeah, so we're going to start at the top of the muscle, so we don't want to go into the hip joint there. So I'm just going to, don't know which way you can see best. Yeah, I'm going to start here. So we want to be down the middle, and I need to be away from the wall. So you need to get your space sorted. Yeah. All right. So we're just going to do a little bit of rolling here slowly. We're just going to roll on the center of that quadricep and just hold it. Yeah. So that's not so comfy, is it? And then go a little bit lower. A little bit of dynamic movement. I'm just going to put my other knee on that mat. And then just hold it. See if you can relax into, yeah? Not so comfy, huh? So you can, the thing with, and let's go a little bit lower here towards the knee. The thing is that if you have the spiky balls, that they're a little bit more comfy, but I think it's harder to control. Yeah, you're in a nice, because the roller is bigger and higher. Yeah. And then we're going to go up towards the pelvis and see if you can just turn towards the inside of. That's a little bit difficult with the roller. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to come off that one and we're going to do the other side. Yeah, so you're going to do the other side and come over. So that will be on the left leg. So your right leg is out to the side. So you're not on the hip joint there, guys, yeah? And you've got like a plank position, and that back foot's helping a little bit. I'm just going to start at the top of that thigh muscle, yeah? We're just going to do a little bit of dynamic movement. And then we're going to move to the down a little bit towards the knee. A little bit of dynamic movement. Occasionally think about your shoulder position and your core position there, and then going down a little bit further. So you've got that little rocking, just a few inches up and down through the belly of the muscle, and then finally just above the kneecap there. if you've got knee issues, I hope you're okay on the floor with that other knee. Okay, and then gently we're going to come off of that. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to move on to the hamstrings. Yeah, so we'll do similar things with the hamstrings. Again, you could use the prickly balls. Shall we use them? No, we'll use the hamstrings. So you could do, I'm just going to show you with the calf, you could actually do both together, but I like to separate. You could actually lie here if you're kind of short of time, and you can do them both together. All right, but we're going to do them separately. So with the calf, let's go back to that right leg. Yeah, so you're going to be on the side, so you can just isolate, and let's start at the top of the calf muscle. Yeah, hamstrings. All right, so just a little bit of rocking up and down on the hamstring. So I'm supporting with my outside leg. As I say, pros and cons. Now this is probably so you don't want a huge amount of compression, because then the tissues kind of they don't relax. They'll just tighten. And just hold it in the belly there. See if you can put all your weight into the belly of that hamstring. Here we could do a little bit of the inner thighs. So if you come to the top of the thigh, it's easier from this position than on the other. And just a little bit of rocking at the top of that inner thigh. Yeah. And then moving down a bit. And if you feel a tension somewhere, just stop there and put compression into that spot where you feel that. And then come up to the top of that thigh, and we could do a little bit of lateral. Yeah, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but just with that external, because the muscles don't just go down the back of that thigh. Same with the quadriceps, they actually wrap around as well. So often, I'm going to do the IT band in a moment. Yeah, okay. So moving on to the glutes. Okay, so we're going to use the prickly balls for this. This is my favorite, yeah? And we're going to be on the floor, so both balls, and we're going to sit on them, but not really on the sit bones. You want to be just leaning back slightly. And we have lots of different ways to increase the pain or increase the benefit here. So put them on the fleshy bit of your buttock cheek, so the balls are not particularly together, and I'm just going to rock forward and back there again, so it's a little bit easier on the shoulders and arms, I think, this one. And you could just tuck your bottom under, so you're just getting more range from up to the, it's delicious, up to the top of the pelvis there, still staying on the muscle, but just where the top of that towards the bone, and then coming back down to your ischial tuberosities, just down towards the sit bones, yeah? And then you can go side to side. So initially here, you might not feel too much tension, but what we could do is we can bring the feet together and the knees together, okay? And then we can take the knees to the right, so you get all the way into that right ball, yeah? So the left cheek's off the left ball, and then we can just do a little bit of rocking, and where you feel it's particularly uncomfortable, just stay there and breathe and sink into that delicious pain. All right, so whether you go up or down or side to side, you could just maybe just rotate slightly into that, and there's the muscles run in all different directions, so we could do a whole 45 minutes, I think, on the glutes. Yeah. So let's come back to the center, feet together, knees together. So as you roll your knees to the left, so you're overloading all your weight into that left buttock cheek, and then so really trying to let go, just sink your weight into the ball, and then move around, maybe towards the center, moving around towards the outside. And then we could stay there, and we could just rock a little bit side to side. Ooh. All right, and then we're going to come off of that, yeah? So we didn't actually do a glute stretch before that, but we're going to do it now. And I know we've done it a lot of times. So if we come back down and place the left foot on the right thigh and bring those legs towards you. So hopefully that feels pretty doable, yeah, and then change sides. Definitely not as stiff as it normally is, not as tight. How's yours feeling there? Okay, release out of that one, guys, yeah? So we are going to, we're going to go and release through the spine, yeah? So fabulous, both balls here. This is where you really do need the prickly balls, makes a huge difference. So why don't you grab yourself a drink, guys? And I'm going to turn my heater down a little bit here and need to grab a drink myself. And we're going to start with the middle back and then go up into the neck. Yeah, so, and then, but before we do that, must remember to do hip rolls. So if you have a forward head posture, then you might want to have a folded up towel to support your head when we get up towards the neck position. Yeah, or maybe right from the start. So I'm just going to get the towel so I can show you. We don't want really, maybe just a centimetre, it depends. Yeah, so what I've got here is a hand towel and I'm just going to fold it so it's just got that little, but I don't have such a forward head posture, so I'm not actually going to use it. But if you start to feel too much extension in your neck in these, then please have that standing by us or close at hand. So before we go anywhere, we're going to do a hip roll to shoulder bridge. Yeah, so we're going to bring ourselves down, feet are hip distance apart and the feet are fairly close towards the bottom. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, we're going to flatten the back towards the mat and tilt the pelvis, and you're starting to just gently roll through the spine. And when you stay up here in that shoulder bridge, you're going to lift the arms, and they're relaxed, by the way, they're nice and relaxed, and just leave them there if you can. Just take a few moments to see how the shoulders feel, and then starting to roll down through the spine and just see if it's feeling tight, any discomfort there, and then bring the arms back down. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, roll up through the spine, and when you get into the shoulder bridge, take the arms back. Inhale, exhale, soften down. Last time, coming down, and bring the arms back down. Awesome. So we're going to start off with the balls. They're going to be just slightly apart around your bra catch area. Yeah, so sometimes we start from the neck, but today I thought we would start from the middle back. Yeah, so they're going to be on the bottom part of your shoulder blades, on your bottom rib. Yeah, so you might need to it takes a bit of practice to find out. There's no one place, and then you're going to bring your head down onto the floor and relax your arms down on the floor. So as mentioned, if you feel that this is awkward for your head here already, you're going into that extension through the neck, then do pop that towel under your head there. But we do want that slight extension. You'll feel that the balls are pushing your ribs up towards the ceiling, and if you have a slight round back, this could feel quite uncomfortable for you. See if you can stay with it, but of course if it gets too painful, then just take the balls away. Yeah, so it's just a question, it's no one place fits all. We're going to cross those arms around the chest. Just see if you can relax the pelvis into that position. So it's pushing you into a slight arch in the lower back. The pelvis is slightly tilted, and we're going to rock, just gently rock. So as you rock to the right, you're drawing more weight onto that right side and over to the other side. So we do have quite a lot of tension in this area because we tend to hinge at this middle back area round. So this could feel a little bit challenging if you've got that slight kyphotic posture. Yeah. And then just bring the arms down by the side. You could bring the arms up, move the arms around. Just see how that feels. Just just maybe move the balls around a bit. Okay, and then the next one, we're going to bring the balls a bit higher. So I like to just envisage the space between the middle of the shoulder blades. So I'm going to come off, and it's probably a couple of inches. I'm going to take the balls a bit higher, I'm going to bring them together, and then I'm going to lie back. So they want to be like in the middle of the shoulder blades. Now there are different places where we can place the balls. So just see how that works. So here you've got quite a steeper position for the neck. So again, if you need to pop I want you to have a slight extension through that neck, but I don't want you to feel too uncomfortable. Yeah. So here we could do a little bit of just moving around, a little bit up and down in this area. Tend to have a lot of tension. So you could be an inch or two higher, inch or two lower, but just around in between the shoulder blades. There's the rhomboid muscle. It really works. See how I've got my hips off the floor. I'm putting more weight into that muscle because I really need this. Yeah, when we're driving the arms, that muscle is working all the time in that middle back, just supporting the position of the arms, and also when you're reading and looking at the phone. Yeah, and then just stop there for a moment, relax down. So the next position is going to be just inside of the armpits. It's also at the top corner, outside edge of your shoulder blades. Yeah, so you might want to just come up and take them a bit wider, a little bit higher, and they want to be not on the arms but just inside of the shoulder joint, and again just move around. So we really we want that head extended back a little bit, so if you can manage that with it, just feeling slight discomfort. Yeah, so just take a few moments and pop your hands on the floor, palms to the ceiling, and let the fingers curl naturally. So it feels like it's not going to be great for your posture, but just go with it, guys. Just really feel how it's pushing your shoulders forward, which we're always trying to avoid, aren't we? Okay, so now we're going to bring the arms up directly over where the ball is, over that point. Relax the arms and let the weight of the arms just shift down through the arms into those shoulder blades and into the balls, and just see what a difference that makes. Take a few moments and just breathing, exhale, and try to relax into that area. And keeping the arms relaxed, we're going to take the arms just gently over towards the top of the forehead, back over the chest and over the belly button very slowly. And I want you to be very mindful of how it moves, how the tension, the compression moves, just where the balls are, and just where you can feel slightly uncomfortable. Come back to the center, then maybe just take the elbows and just focus on relaxing the shoulder joint there. You maybe stay there, we don't have to move all the time. And just out gently to the side. And then doing circles. So the middle of the circle is the ball, are the balls. And really softening, relaxing the shoulders. It's quite hard to relax the arms, but if they're vertical, then it's not so bad. Round the other way. Awesome. Okay, and then the next one we're going to do is we're just going to take the balls away, and I want you to take them away and do nothing, and just see how you feel across the shoulders there. Where we do the final one. Yeah, so we're going to do the final one where the balls are going to be together. You might need to hold them together, and they're just going to be at the top of your neck there. So there's various positions, and this is where the microphone's not going to be happy. But I really want to do this. Let's see, I'll just move it up. Not very good for the hairdo. I hope you can still hear me. Yeah, so I'm going to rest my head back. Excuse me. And so keep the balls together and just let the weight of the head. So you want that extension through the head. You want it to go. And we have so much tension in these muscles. Yeah. and breathe, exhale. So really let go of the neck muscles, which I know it's hard to do. And then we're going to take the head slightly towards the right, so increasing the pressure. If you don't feel the pressure increase on that side, then you're probably too tense. You're staying tense in your neck. Just stay there and exhale, soften into it. Come back to the center. And then again, so you're taking more weight onto that side that you've rolled into. Stay there for a moment and really relax through. And then back to the center. We could do a little bit of dropping the chin towards the chest and then rocking it away. So just nodding the head down and up, but make sure that the weight, it's kind of hard, isn't it, to keep that weight going. Even if you press down a little bit, but then you're tensing the muscles. I want to really relax the muscles there. And then come back to the center and take a few moments before we take the balls away. And we're going to do that hip roll again to shoulder bridge, taking the arms back overhead, and then we'll be closing the session shortly. Okay, so stay where you are, but take the balls away and just see how that feels. Maybe move your head a little bit. Palms of the hands towards the ceiling. There you go. And then move those feet into that hip roll position, maybe a bit closer to each other in the bottom. Inhale, exhale. So nice and slow. So just feel mindful how your spine feels. Yeah, nice and fluid. Up to the shoulder bridge. Let's stay there. Let's take the arms back over towards the floor. Are you a little bit closer to the floor? Yeah, how are the shoulders feeling? A little bit more relaxed. So if they want to lift up as you roll down through the spine, then that's fine. And just rolling down and bring the arms back down by your side. Stay there for a few moments and just see how you feel, how the spine is feeling. And then we're going to gently, so make sure the legs are bent, we're going to roll over onto the side and finish the session, the masterclass, in a seated position. So very gently roll over and come up and just sit where you feel that you're most comfortable in an upright position. So it might be on a block, on a cushion. You might have your legs. In fact, what I'd like you to do is to bring your legs into a diamond position. Soles of the feet together. We'll do one last stretch. Cross the hands over, lean forward and hold just on the top of your ankle joint. And just gently ease forward. Maybe stretching the lower back, maybe the hips. I know we didn't do this before, so we can't compare, but that's a really nice stretch coming all the way up to stay. Loosen out the shoulders, guys, yeah? So definitely I feel that a whole hour, I could have even done that for a couple of hours, but that was a little bit of a taster of what you can achieve. Let's take a nice inhale. So we want to get lots of oxygenation into the body there and hydration, and then exhale. It's on that exhale where we can relax through the body. Yeah. So do give me your feedback on the class, on the master class today. Do pop it in the comments. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel better, more relaxed, and particularly once you get up and walk around.